Hi there, I'm Claire from Claire Chancellor Coaching. Today what I want to explore is the fourth card in the Major Arcana, known as the Emperor. Now when we look at the energy of this card, it is commanding, there is authority, and to be honest with you, I kind of find it a little bit intimidating with so much stark red and the heavy greys. There really is a lot of firmness and rigid energy when it comes to the Emperor. When we think about the Fool who's been on their journey, they come across the Emperor, who is here to teach the Fool about the masculine elements of being here in the 3D, about being in the 3D on Earth, I should say. And so when he's here, the Emperor is to teach him all about the rules, the system, the structure, the how within the mind. And it's these lessons that each and every one of us get exposed to being here on Earth, and we have to navigate where we fit in, especially as a gentle infinite soul. Where do we fit in with rules? So so in a reading, when this comes up in a more human situation, should I say, this can represent feeling dominated or controlled by masculine or an authority. It doesn't have to be masculine, but there's that perceived authority of somebody older or more dominating, telling you what you should do, how you should be, and while do it when they tell you no. When I say jump, you just ask how high. There is that uneasy sort of dominating trauma kind of feeling that comes up with the Emperor, and it's just it's just a heavy card. So if I lightened up the energy in this particular card, if we think about the father figure, Jack, in the movie Meet the Fockers, he wants to stay in control. He wants to hold the family unit, to be part of that circle of trust, and it's all his rules or get out. And this is a lot like the Emperor. In a relationship, being with somebody like this, there's not much emotional satisfaction, there's not much emotional connection, not much emotional fulfillment. This particular person would be quite uneasy when it comes to accessing that emotional space, because the logic and the mind and the facts give that person a sense of safety. Maybe in the past they were particularly hurt, the rug got pulled out from underneath them, and they've built this wall, and they have this certainty that the mind, the masculine, the rules will give them certainty how to move forward. If you do it A, B, C, definitively that D, E, F is the next things in the alphabet. But when it comes to somebody who's a lot more free-flowing, like the Fool, that can be quite jarring, because it's like, well, what if we got creative with this? What if we could explore? What if we put these together and form words? It's just my silly metaphor. But you can imagine, if you're in a relationship with somebody who's as rigid as this, who's stuck to the rules, it's going to suck the life out of you. It's going to take out the adventure, take out the excitement. But maybe that's something that you actually need. Maybe you're someone who's driven towards the same restaurant, same predictable clothes, same predictable routine. Maybe that works for you. So when this card comes up in reverse, now you think that would be a little bit more of a relief, right? So if this card comes up in reverse, it's about giving yourself permission to have flexibility, giving yourself permission to find that creative spark in you. What do you want to put out in the world? It's still carrying some limiting decisions, most likely from the dad side of the family, or the masculine side, even from dad, how someone should provide, how someone should be in this world. We're still working through that, but with less intensity, thank goodness. If this card comes up in a health reading, there's a few things here that could go on, such as headaches, needing to be in control. When we think about our brain, the computer system of how we operate, this is about control, which is the energy of the Emperor, right? This could be somebody who's experiencing something like diabetes, where they're needing to unconsciously overcompensate for a loss where they experienced a lack of nurturing, Oh, that was a tongue twister. It can also represent muscular problems, feeling rigid in the muscles because you have been held so tightly in that structure and in that firmness that there's safety in being rigid. There's safety in that, and it's just so the muscles are holding on to that stress because you were exposed to that stressful situation for way too long. It can represent stomach fat, which is like our unconscious mind putting in a shield, a layer between you and the outside world, that they can't get to that core vulnerability where you're still carrying that, maybe carrying a level of shame or feeling criticized. It's like, well, I'll criticize me first and, bugger off, leave me alone, like that. It can represent that. Just checking in with the team. Is there anything else here with the Emperor? Shoulder problems, feeling like the weight of the responsibility on you. Anything else there, guys? And they're just talking about maybe even feet problems, fear of moving forward without being criticized. Okay, let's bring the energy back up if we can with the Emperor. And let's talk about the symbols here in this card. Now, the rams, I actually really like the rams in the tarot deck. See the rams there on the edge of his throne? The rams represent determination, that fierce moving forward. Can totally relate to that. Get out of my way. I'm on a mission. You say, Claire, that's not like you. You're like, well, yeah, it can be when no one's looking. And of course, we've got the 4 rams there on the throne. We've got the other 2 up the side there. Now, 4 in the tarot represents structure, bringing structure to your world. Think about having 4 legs on a table. You need all 4 of them to keep things balanced. So if you're drawn to the number 4 when you're doing a reading with the Emperor, structure, structure, structure. Okay, we've got the Ankh there that he's holding onto, and that's a symbol between a symbol of life after death, an Egyptian symbol there. We've got the armor that covers his vulnerability, and he won't show that easily, especially when he's wearing that red garment over the top. The red is going to command that authority, but his armor shoes, the silver, still says, I'm worth looking at. Look at, I've earned my way up to this commanding role. Whew. Anything else there? They're saying here, like he's holding onto the orb, which is that power and authority, the ruler, the identity in being a ruler. And we've got the red sky behind, which is the only tarot card that really has this sort of scratchy red background. For me, that represents the uneasiness, the deserted environment, the isolation probably externally, and the isolation that's being felt within. Okay, so it's a heavy card. If this card comes up in a reading, you want to ask yourself, how much are you in your head and how much are you avoiding your emotions? If you need to control everything in your life, pretend that you lost complete control. How would life be? What fear comes to the surface? If you're no longer in control, what would be possible? So, an interesting card to read. I hope that all makes sense. I'm Claire from Chancellor Coaching, and I look forward to talking to you soon.